Did you over for a drink at 8 tonight? I said you'd go.
You don't know my schedule.
What's up, guys? Today we're talking about Friendship, a dark buddy comedy from director Andrew Deyoung. It stars Tim Robinson as Craig, a socially awkward and cringy 40-something who could not be more milquetoast or beige, but is eager to connect. Craig's wife Tami, played by Kate Mara, has recently recovered from cancer and is looking for seemingly any reason to get her strange husband out of the house. So she sets him up on a bro date with their neighbor Austin, played by Paul Rudd. I won't beat around the bush. Friendship is one of my favorite movies of 2025. Perfectly striking the balance between cringe, tension, anti-humor, and belly-shaking laughter. But before we get into it, I'm gonna go ahead and drop a spoiler warning. So now's your time to pause this video, go watch Friendship, and then come back and let me tell you how to feel about it. Now, stop, I'm doing something! Right out the gate, I will say for anyone who made it to this review, you're either a fan of Tim Robinson and his excellent sketch comedy show, I Think You Should Leave, or you watched Friendship and have no idea why you feel so weird and bit your nails down to the stubs. I make that distinction because even just amongst my own friend group, this movie has been polarizing. I, for one, loved it, as did my wife, but I've had two friends so far who didn't enjoy it much at all. They found it sad, bleak, and upsetting, anxiety-inducing to the max. For me, though, those aspects make the movie even funnier. From the beginning of the movie, and luckily I saw this with a nice-sized afternoon matinee audience, I was trying to figure out how they would establish Friendship's tone. But the introduction of Tim Robinson's Craig was met with immediate laughter, evening my tension. Luckily, the movie quickly steps into a dreamy pacing, as things seem a bit more analog and just kinda different in the world of Friendship. This doesn't make this movie any less relevant and personally meaningful, it just means that it's operating on a different level, and it may require the audience to suspend disbelief to truly receive the movie. And from the moment that Craig opens a package at his new friend Austin's house, there's this weird, trippy illusion sequence where Austin may as well be some kind of beloved deity best friend figure in Craig's warped mind, and we see Craig gets a nosebleed and blood dripping down his gleeful face, and laughter erupted from the recesses of my stomach. I was locked into the film from that moment. From here, the crux of the movie is made clear. Craig has a family, but they don't much like him, and most people seem not to like him. We often react to the world with him as opposed to seeing as much about how others react to him. This is made evident in some excellent cinematography details, as other characters' reactions may be obfuscated by being outside the lens of the camera or their face unclear in the reflection of a microwave. Craig's wife Tami recently beating her cancer and often bringing up her weirdly supportive ex-boyfriend Devin, to which Craig usually reacts with a "who the fuck is this guy" kind of deflection, is often seen staring into the abyss, darkly cheerful in the presence of her odd husband, but sometimes in a way that makes her feel hostage to his narcissism. He's seemingly successful at work, but the movie establishes that he's ultimately unliked and very, very lonely. Now, as I described Craig and the vibe of this movie, you may start to think, why would this movie be funny? His coworkers mock him, his wife barely acknowledges him besides his shortcomings, even his own son undermines him by being the only man in the house to kiss his wife on the lips. He's lacking connection, and that is sad. But then we're introduced to Paul Rudd's Austin through a moment of mixed up male meet cute kind of stuff. Craig delivers the misaddressed package to Austin, and from there they end up hanging out by way of Tami's forced coupling, we'll say. The word adventure is uttered in Craig and Austin's hangout, and that word summarizes the entire film, but also why things get so muddy and awkward so quickly. Their jaunt into the sewers, Craig's taking Slipknot to be the epitome of punk rock, and the subsequent realization that he can like something that's not just the newest Marvel, as he puts it, it's a revelation to him. It's also exactly how I have connected with friends in the past. I can even think recently when my friend Andrew built me a Deftones playlist that became my entire personality in my 30s, or when I first connected with my friend Noah and completely took on his vocal cadence and goofy mannerisms. Male friendship is intoxicating because it's built upon insecurity in some ways. We try to find ourselves through our friends. It just so happens here that Craig's, we'll say, oddity lands him on the receiving end of a friendship breakup more quickly, even if that friend did kind of love bomb him by way of adventuring. Read Breaking breaking and entering into City Hall and ripping mad butts on the roof. But while the film focuses most to hilarious effect on Craig's inability to read social cues and only dream of how he thinks things can or should be going, it's through Austin that the movie does a great job of humanizing Craig and allowing the audience to see him past his maniacal and stalkerish behavior. Austin, bright and colorful in comparison to Craig's beige and brown outfit throughout the movie, has personality. Craig loves this, as it's what he ultimately desires. Craig's brazen candidness even breaks through Austin's insecurity as a nighttime weatherman. If you want morning news, why not just ask for it? I asked for my own office, and now I can eat whatever I want in it anytime. Big, messy, smelly meals. Austin's eyes light up, and we find out that he got the job per Craig's suggestion. Connection is being made, friendship foundation material. But Craig doesn't have the ability to sequester his joy at this newly found friendship, and in some very, very funny, intense sequences, one involving men singing "At Night I Think of You" by Ghost Town DJs, which itself as a song choice is so duly layered textually, this causes Austin and the group to turn on Craig. Things get dark from there, involving Craig trying to cosplay as Austin with his own family, resulting in his wife getting lost in the sewers, and even a toad-licking psychedelic experience that is easily the funniest moment, as I genuinely lost my mind at how much it eschewed the usual movie drug trip trope. We find out in the movie's finale, though, that Craig is a true friend to the end. Through that, Austin can't help but shake that there's something unshakable about Craig, and that is exactly how we, the audience, feel about Craig too. Every element of this movie is so well crafted. The cinematography and editing evoke Looney Tunes and Simpsons-esque transitions, further highlighting to the audience the dreamy, cartoonish nature of the narrative and hammering in the jokes. The movie looks so incredible helps aid in the humor too. The way Craig is often framed downstairs from Tami and his son, or even when he is framed outside with a window of people inside laughing behind him, these are all character building moments for him. Andy Ridzuski deserves major accolades for his camera work, as does editor Sophie Cora, and this is one of the best looking movies I've seen this year. Andrew Deyoung proves to be an exciting writer-director, having worked on shows like Shrill and High Maintenance, and that Tim Robinson had no hand in this script, it's astounding, because the movie feels so akin to the "I Think You Should Leave" sensibility. This all works in the movie's favor, ultimately, as there are some sequences and deliveries such as the OVD clothing line or Robinson's delivery of "I got stuff all over me" that feel like discarded material from his show. It's a strong connective tissue to audiences familiar with Robinson, but also a great jumping on point for people new to this brand of humor. It's singular, disruptive, and to quote the movie, punk in its comedic energy and voicing. But this movie would be nothing without Tim Robinson's portrayal of Craig. This isn't just a 15-minute sketch character drawn out to feature length. He is lived in, dynamic, and emotionally stunted and explosive. Robinson's delivery of every single line is meticulous, hilarious, and purposeful. This movie is simply too good because of him, and it would not function the same without him. His performance is akin to the tea kettle tightrope of Adam Sandler in Punch Drunk Love, a movie that would make for an excellent double feature with Friendship. DeYoung's voice as a director doesn't feel far from Paul Thomas Anderson in moments throughout the film as well. Robinson's energy even veers into Sam Kinison rage territory as well, to great effect. Paul Rudd is of course excellent, playing a perfect foil to Craig's uncomfortable zaniness. His ability to be playful, stoic, aggressive, and display such a range of emotion is so helpful in the audience connecting with Craig's humanity. In one of the pivotal scenes between them, we find out that Austin's been wearing a toupee the entire time. We all carry around a carefully sculpted facade as men, and our delicate glassy structures can be quickly ripped asunder. Rudd's performance perfectly imbues that feeling, greatly aiding this movie comedically, but also in Craig's fascinating character study. Kate Mara is wonderful as Tami, one of the few characters grounded in reality as things begin to feel otherworldly. I was delighted to see so many comedians I love show up from Robinson's circles, such as Whitmer Thomas, Ivy Wolk, and Eric Rahill. There's a cameo Robinson shares with a particular someone. I won't spoil who, but you can probably guess, and they're both hilarious together as always, which culminates in one of the movie's best quotables. Keegan DeWitt's score is immaculate, with plenty of moody, haunting tones to further establish the movie's ethereal dream comedy mood. All the musical cues helped break up each scene, adding momentum and driving home how weird this movie wants to make you feel. All of these features come to a head to concoct what is to me a new, modern comedy classic, essentially a Twin Peaks version of the episode The Secret from the American version of The Office. I believe that Friendship is for everyone, but as stated at the top of the review, it's not going to click the same way across the board. So I'd throw the word cult in front of comedy classic. A major reason for this is that you are forced to agree with the movie's unsaid contract. Are you laughing at Craig or with Craig? It's a little bit of both, but for me, as someone who heavily identifies identified with Craig as the movie went on, it's mostly laughing with him. Craig embodies raw, unfiltered vulnerability, and that aspect of male friendship is so fucking meaningful to me. I've put my foot in my mouth in so many social situations that I felt so similar to him, even when he was saying clearly awful things and acting like a maniac, like commenting on one of Austin's friend's busty daughter. Friendship is so fully in service of its message, and the movie asks the audience to invite that in. It's like anti-empathy, like, are you willing to relate to this ugly part of yourself? To embrace the unbearable tension, which makes the movie itself an adventure, as well as adding to the off-kilter humor and timing. The line where Craig's like, want a friend? Just have a son. That line is hilarious, especially as the camera shows Craig's face split in two in the mirror. It's so goddamn funny and smart all at once. I loved Friendship so much, and I could go on and on and on about this movie. Movies aren't always a warm hug at first. Embracing those deeper, darker elements of humanity require vulnerability, a crucial component to not just making art, but receiving it. Friendship will cause many to grapple with their own insecurities. Watching Craig continue to fumble the ball and act like a jackass can be painful to watch. But like Robinson exposes in the excellent satire of I Think You Should Leave, that discomfort is also the root of the greatest comedies. For me, Friendship has become an instant favorite. I continue to chuckle to myself thinking about moments from this movie after the fact. It's as smart as it is stupid. The greatest of comedies can't always do both, but with Friendship, Tim Robinson and Andrew Deyoung have provided one of the great cosmic cinematic gifts of our time. It's a testament to the difficulties of male friendship and the awkwardness of making and hopefully keeping friends as an adult. Not only that, this movie is an excellent template for Robinson to expand upon for future feature-length movies if he chooses to go that route. And I, for one, am so fucking seeded for whatever he and Deyoung do next. What did you think of Friendship? Was it the funniest thing you've ever seen, or did it just make you nervous and sad and it just wasn't for you? Leave all the comments below, and before you go, don't forget to like and smash that subscribe button. Thank you all so much for watching this video and continuing to support the channel. Until next time, we definitely should have stayed in Afghanistan.
I think of you, I want to be your baby. If your game is on, you can call me.